Hi, everyone, and welcome to Women of Crypto. I have Donna Hopkins who's hanging out with me today. Oh, and it looks like I can see Richard in the background there and the glass.
He's helping me out here.
Well, I am certainly glad to have him there. They are also bees and do a lot to help support the bee community. And those of you who are just tuning in for the first time, what is the bee community? Donna, how do you describe us when you talk to people? What do you say?
A bunch of crazy people. No, I'm kidding. We are a lot of people who have like-minded thoughts about helping the world and helping others, and there to support one another through the learning curve that cryptocurrency has brought to us. And
Beautiful.
we're there to answer questions. We're there to help each other, um, regardless of what. So always ask before you do.
Right. So that's pretty much what I say too. I think my, you know, pitch line is like we're a conglomerate of like-minded people who came together, who wanted to find out more about crypto, be able to help find out how we can spread information about it on crypto literacy, and who all seem to be very heart-centered and focused towards humanitarian aspects of different things with crypto, while also being able to help themselves and generations after them, and always being willing and open to find out what's next and how do we understand it and adopt it no matter what age we are. Actually, that would be a really great transition for us to talk about some age differences in cryptocurrency. And
Oh, we have them.
please, Donna, say a little more. What are your thoughts
Well,
and
you know,
observations?
what I have noticed is we have ages from probably even under 20 years old, but a lot of early 20s all the way up to mid and late 80s that are involved in the space. And it's such a huge span of people, but the young people have been great about teaching the older people about how all of this works, and the younger people have been really receptive to listening to the wisdom of older people. So I've never been in a group with such a wide age span that everyone gets along so well. It's great.
Yeah, it's been a really nice group. So, an example of someone who's older, who's been in the know, we have a gentleman who's been with us for, well, since I think he's been there since I started, and well, since you too, Donna. So
Hmm.
I've been around
Hmm.
since I think April of 2020. I think he came in around then, or might have already even been there. He's always just been there, as far as I know.
Uh-huh.
And he's an older gentleman, super interesting, super nice guy, and always asked a lot of questions, was learning and wanting to know, did his best, and I remember all of us at the beginning when we first did our first test pool together on DeFi, how, we were up for literally days getting that
Days.
all squared away and making sure everybody was onboarded together. And I remember him being on the call and us helping him walk through things. And through the last, year, well, yeah, year and a half, he's just tremendously gotten to adopt the information and understand it. And Donna, do you recall him talking about the story about, I think it was a family member, maybe a nephew, that questioned that he would know anything about crypto whatsoever?
Yes, I do. He was on a trip, and I think it was a nephew, and he was telling him all about NFTs and the cryptocurrency world, and this gentleman was able to just start talking right away, and the kid was like, "Whoa, I had no idea you knew that stuff," and all of a sudden, which was great for him too because he didn't realize how much he really did know. And he was able to actually have a conversation with his nephew and this younger person. So it was pretty cool. The old generation gap just got closed up really tight.
Yeah, and we were all excited. I remember, us talking and clapping amongst each other, rooting our
Hmm.
pal on that he had the tenacity and knowledge to be able to speak eloquently about a topic that often younger people think, oh, they think if you're over 45, you're too old to know. And then and we said we have people who
Mhm.
are pushing 80 that I know of, and yet I know people who have been having their children and grandchildren talk about it. And so I've heard stories of people as young as 8 explaining how different wallets work and so forth because they are in the know.
Yeah, and
So
what's really amazing is that there are so many people who have gotten involved and they have taught their children about crypto. My case, especially, I went to my kids and told them, and they thought, "Oh, mom, you're nuts. You're losing it. Why are you?" They didn't know what we know about crypto, and now that they've gotten involved and they're learning as they go, they're like, "Wow, mom was kind of ahead of the game here." And I was always the one who called my son, who was the computer guy, and say, "Hey, honey, how do I do this?" And there was the sigh, like, "Oh, mom," So then I was able to share with him something he didn't know very much about.
it's funny that you mentioned I had never thought about it before, but like last night I was explaining something to my children. Two of my daughters were over at the house, and them and my husband, they're all just looking at me with blank stares, and I'm like, the stuff I've been talking to you about all along, they just have not been interested in
Mm-mm.
about adopting it or learning about it. And then I was explaining to them how they're already using technology very similar to cryptocurrency
Mm-hmm.
and NFTs, just weren't aware of it. I said, just like if you go to an event, right, and you have a code, and that code now is your ticket to get into a concert or to receive a free gift for something that you're doing. That is very similar to what an NFT is doing. It's a digital asset that lives on the blockchain that has some kind of asset attached to it, whether it's a time, a place, a whatever, a digital art piece. And the value of it changes and ebbs and flows based on the desire of people to want to participate in that or have one for themselves.
Exactly.
So
Well, just like
NFT,
that little QR code, technically that's your ticket to get in. It's representing value that you've invested to get into that concert. So,
yes.
yeah, or on the airplane. I take my phone now. I don't have a boarding pass. I flash my phone.
Yes, we have a gobbledygook thing that we can't read that tells them,
Yeah.
it tells this little red light and that it transcribes the information,
Hmm.
very similar to the same thing. And so then again, an NFT is a non-fungible token. So I always try to make sure that I'm talking at things at all multiple levels. I always
Yes.
feel like anytime we do the show, we're doing a one-room schoolhouse from people who are super knowledgeable to people who are just like coming in for the first time. So, for those of you who are wanting to learn more, you can go to www.bees.social. That's BEES.social. Yes, that is a website. We don't have to do .coms anymore, although those still exist. There's .social and .ios and all these other wonderful things. All right, so we are in the middle of a really great game that just happened after 3 weeks ago. Well, 3 Mondays ago, we had an NFT launch where 10,383 bees transpired in a sale where people wanted to be NFT owners of our bees. So, Tim, I don't know if you're able to pop up some bees for us and show some people what our bees look like. Each one of these bees is different. I heard last that there might be 100 of them out there bouncing around for availability. Some people might have other ones that they have up, not necessarily at a price that they want to sell, but maybe for the right price, they'd be willing to let people have. And he's looking at them here at Social Bees University on OpenSea.io. OpenSea is the host of these digital assets, and here are some gorgeous little bees here. And another way that you can go and find the bees is if you go to socialbees.io OPES.io, there at the top of the header, there's a little tiny blue icon. You click on that, and that'll take you to the Social Bees University, where you can see there he's talking about right there. Gosh, you're so good at this, Tim. He's like the Vanna for us. You click on that, and that takes you right to OpenSea, so you can see what is available. So if you would like to have a bee and be part of the bee community, then you can certainly do that. You don't have to own a bee to be part of the bee community, although it certainly helps put you into the membership in a different way, in a different angle. And right now there's some other games going on. So those people who own bees actually are earning some extra love by owning a bee and going to Twitter, twitter.com, and you get your handle and you sign in, and then you look for our channel of Open Spaces. I think Tim's going to pull that up for us. Now, I always find one of our people and then go to their site and click it where it says just listening. You can see it right there. I always have to squint and go in to look at it because I can't read what the website is. I know how I go to get it, but I don't know how to explain to you guys to go and get it. So Tim, I'm sure will provide that so that you guys can go and find that and figure out how to see that. And he'll put that along the bottom. It just dawned on me. I'm like, I don't know how to tell other people. I always just go to Austin's. I go to Austin and look him up, and then I go there from there. But we do have our Bees community. Crypto Swarm, I believe, is one of the ways to get there as well. And you can find the information to hop on. And right now we're in a 15-day, what's the word? Marathon, I guess you could say.
24 hours a day.
Where people right now are talking. If we were to click in and listen, I hung up just before I pulled onto StreamYard, and they were talking about different things about introducing people to 3.0 and talking about metaverse and Central Land, the different spaces that are out there. I've recently been interviewing people who are getting into multiple different virtual reality spaces where that people can go and engage with each other. So Donna, what is your experience in hearing about all of this? What have you been taking in?
Wow, this has been amazing because I get on there and I start listening, and it really opens up my perspective of what all this is about. Because we kind of just go on our merry way, but as I listen to these different people, they're talking about all these great ideas and way to use the metaverse and W 3.0 and what is W 3.0. And some of these people are I'm blown away at how smart they are and aware of all these different things happening out there. And we've talked about using blockchain technology and the Web3 in all aspects of our society. And we've talked about how would it work and help real estate? How would it work and help the medical field? How would it work to help streamline the airline business? And so people have been able to come on, whether they're a bee or not, and bring up their ideas and collaborate with one another about how they can be involved in making Web3 become accepted by everyone, where it's going to be something that's part of our everyday life. And we're on that path. We're getting to that point where it's going to be a big thing in how we're going to be able to handle things. When we go online and we're able to, or we go to some place and we're able to use Ethereum to buy something. It's just click, click, and it's fast. You just don't have to worry about it. You don't have to go to the bank and try to get the money out and make sure your check is good and do all those things. It's just from phone to phone. And, it has a very powerful impact on our life. And the other part of the spaces that I have found to be amazing is we're talking to people all over the world. There are people from Syria. There are people from Mexico, Ecuador, we had some people from Germany. I mean, just everywhere. And we're all the same. People are people, and we're taking the power back by figuring out how we want this to work in the future for us.
Absolutely. Yes, it does universally bring people together so that they can be heard all over the world and be able to work and function together in such a way that it brings people together at a different level. And cryptocurrency, it's going to be universal. I mean, it is universal. I don't say going to be. By the way, I just realized that I now can understand what Tim was trying to tell me. Tim Judge is our executive producer here at Social TV on YouTube, and he manages multiple different executive producers, I should say, multiple shows for us. His sign language via the page that you're looking at is you can go to the Twitter spaces very easily by going to Bees Social or the social bees.io and clicking at the top for the Twitter. That's what he was telling me. You click that and that will take you. So when you click that, then you have to scroll down and look for the big purple box that says join. And then when you do, it says just listening. And then that's how you can participate. And then once you click on that, if you would like to engage in conversation, share information or ideas you have, be able to give feedback to someone else, you can raise your hand and have an opportunity to share as well and to play along. Open Spaces works very similar to Clubhouse. And those of you who don't know what Clubhouse is or how that worked, it's similar to a party line. And if you don't know what that is, what that is, it's when a whole bunch of people can talk at once by taking turns, by raising their hand, and then they're given the mic, and then they can talk and hear each other in one space. You don't have to look good. No one's on camera. It's all of you just talking at once, and it's a really great way to collaborate and get information. If there's people that you want to meet or an interest that you have, you can look and see who the speaker was, and then you can direct message them and follow up with them and make friends with them that way. I've made friends with people across the world in different spaces for Twitter and on Clubhouse and those kinds of things. We also have a conversation going on Discord. So Discord, please look for that channel as well. And so that you can talk with different bees there. So bees are all different places. And while we're all buzzing about, there's different conversations going on. And the open spaces conversation is talking about allowing people to come and be in a space where if they're feeling alone and they have ideas and they want to be able to connect with people, that this is a place that they have that. So it's a really great, it's like networking at a higher level because you're networking saying, I'm specifically looking for this. You listen into people that you want to talk to, and then you collaborate and get back with each other on those specific things so that you can play on a higher level. It's quite fun,
So
quite exciting.
one other thing, Andrea, that a topic that has been really interesting the last couple days is the housing market and the homeless situation and how we get money to go directly to the project we want it to go to, that the funding doesn't get dispersed all other which way. It's like when there's a charity and you donate money, we want our money to go all the way to that charity. And with the blockchain and this collaboration that's going on, people have had some amazing ideas to how to make that work.
Yeah, beautiful. I'm actually just getting some information for people who were going to give us some information to share on Women of Crypto, but they missed the time because they're a different time zone, which of course happens when you talk with people all over the world. And so I told them to send me the information anyways. If I have a chance, we'll be able to refer to it. If not, we'll pick it back up on Monday. All right, so there was some other things that I wanted to share with you guys. We also have another opportunity for people to come together to talk and to connect at a really wonderful level. And that's through a conference that's coming up in Phoenix, and that's called NFT Connect.1. NFT Connect.1, and that is spelled out ONE for one. So Donna, what have you been hearing? What's the hubbub that you know that's been going on about this wonderful event?
Well, this is amazing because I'm thinking it's just going to be this little event and maybe a few hundred people, but the NFT Connect people that are putting this on have done an amazing job. They have conference topics going all day long. They're going to have an NFT art gallery where people can look at different people's art. There'll be entertainment. It is a luxury two-day conference, and there'll be conferences and networking. There'll be let's see, networking, game introduction, and then they haven't really labeled all of the conference session topics yet, but they have 5 on here over the 2 days. And then they were going to have a VIP pass to the party. And there's going to be some pretty amazing entertainment. And we just found out that the VIP party will have DJ Snoopadelic, a DJ set performed by Snoop Dogg. And we will have some other performers and, fun things going on along with our learning. So there'll be, I'm pretty sure, several thousand people. The facility that it's at is a brand new facility in Mesa, Arizona. And it's called Bell Park. Is that what it is? Bell.
I'm not sure if it's called that, but I know that part of the word is legacy, and it's just
Mm-hmm.
outside of Phoenix. It's kind of between Phoenix, Mesa, and Gilbert. It's a little just outside of the way, but it's actually easy to get to from multiple locations. I've looked
Mm-hmm.
at the venue of it. It's quite attractive, a nice large space for people to congregate and come together. And certainly if you're someone who's concerned, I'm sure that they'll put some of the things in place that are, within the mandates of Arizona for, so, you can make those educated decisions on your own. And again, there's general admission and VIP access. So luxury 2-day conference is how they're describing it. So we've been hearing a lot of the buzz going on for this. So just to let you guys know, the bees, when we find out about different things and we know what's going on, we tend to show up. So when the Bitcoin had their last thing, two of us bees buzzed our way in, and this was when we first were, people were barely leaving the house. Me and one of my partners went, so we had two bees buzz into Bitcoin, and then we had several more bees go to New York, this year and hang out and do some things there. And we had a couple dozen other bees go check out some other conferences here and there. And then now it looks like with this Phoenix area, because we have so many bees in and around Phoenix and that it's an easy airport to fly into, it sounds like we're going to be sweeping in to do a little crypto swarm. And so we're really excited about that. So people who are having conferences and so forth, certainly reach out to us here. You can reach out to me, Dr. Andrea Adams Miller. You can go to www.theredcarpetconnection.com, and my information's there, and you can reach out to me, and I'll be glad to tell you more or find out how us bees can come swarm your parties.
Yeah.
Why
We
don't
like
we
to
just
do
do
that.
that, Donna? Let's be professional party swarmers.
That's right. I like it. We don't crash parties. We swarm.
Yeah, we swarm
Yeah.
them. We bring the honey to the party. There you go. Oh, that sounds almost inappropriate, but you know what I mean.
Well, I think it's important for people to know. I've made a personal commitment to myself to try to stay um, educated and knowledgeable about what's coming in the future for technology. Because I
Hmm.
can remember when my mom was getting up there and I talked her into get a computer, and it was the most expensive solitaire game you'll ever find. But at least she got on the computer. And at the time, I thought, I don't want to be way up there and not be able to know how to do the stuff that is coming, because there's so many changes just in my lifetime. We were talking about, from going to the moon to this and that. And the thing with a conference like this, it's important for me to go to places like that and educate myself so I can make by educated decision about what I want to be involved in. So
Hmm.
just super important that I can do that. The other is that it will be live streamed, and there will be information out there that people, if you can't get to Phoenix, you can't be there, you can certainly participate, and you certainly can learn a lot more about this whole new technology that we're all going to be living with very soon.
Hmm. So it's going to be quite fun. I do know that there's quite a lineup of great speakers. There'll be some really great panels talking about everything from Crypto 101 to highly advanced to new innovation and technology that we've never heard of, possibly. I know that I've been spending quite a bit of evenings exploring and talking to different people and innovators, people in Silicon Valley to people in other countries, about what's happening in the world and what's coming up and what's being seen. And it's kind of fun too, because some of the things I'm hearing people go, "Oh, that's brand new." And I'm like, "Yeah, I was teaching my students that back in 2010, and called Second Life, very similar, or to like the game Sims people used to play. So not quite the same, but along those lines where you can actually go in and be in those spaces, and you can build a house and or a place to be or a place of business. You can do trade shows and concerts. You can participate in multiple things and really function and move about. And there's medical findings that go along with this. While some people say, oh no, you're gonna not make any friends and you're only going to be online, you're not going to be connected with real people, I'm telling you, some of my closest friends are people that I've met online that I've never physically connected with ever. Donna's one of them. Donna
Yes,
and I've
that's
become
right.
friends. We've talked on the phone. We've had laughs. I cried. I'm a crier though. So, but I
We
mean,
will talk about
but
that.
I'm okay with that. I've cried on here, and and that's an amazing thing. And because Donna's an amazing person, and we have connected through crypto technology. What a cool way to be connected with people in the world. And Donna and her husband, they have a lot of really great interests in care for people in different communities and for philanthropy. Do you want to share a little bit about what you guys are doing with your education and stuff for your recovery centers and houses?
Yes. Yes, our
Yes.
goal is to provide affordable housing for people in recovery who are just trying to get back on their feet. And we started this several years ago before the whole, crypto thing. But this has given us an avenue that we will be able to touch more lives. And, we're at the place of collaborating with people to find out how to make it work. How do we help the people who are just really trying to get a hand up so they can move forward? And a lot of people have come from some dark places, and it's not because they're bad people. It's because they're people who have become lost in the cycle of addiction, and now they're getting themselves out, and how to keep them to maintain that level of sobriety and make it through life. And you have to have good housing, and you can't have, if you don't have good housing, how are you going to go take a shower and get ready for your job, So it's just that whole process of trying to get people back into the mainstream, and looking at ways that we are able to provide housing that is economical and that is supportive of that lifestyle.
Absolutely. And along those lines, you mentioned resilience. So, as the executive director of the Keep Smiling movement, we have partnered with Bees. That's how I was invited to be a bee in the first place, is because we had talked about philanthropy and humanity, and people had heard what I did, and they said, oh gosh, you might like to be in this world. You seem very heart centered. And we go around the United States, and well, we used to go around the world. I have been to a couple countries off of a cruise line, but not where I've been flying to them for a while, but we've been to other countries as well, and sharing about the Bees.Social and what we're doing and how people can be financially literate while we're doing our mission, which is to save lives by inspiring smiles to create a dose of hope, which allows them to be resilient no matter what dental or mental challenge that they have. And mental can be everything from grief to stress to financial woo to brain injury to Alzheimer's to depression, whatever it might be. We want to help people to smile and be resilient. And all of this has really been maximized our outreach by our connection with the bees and the support of the bees. So I really feel like as bees, we really go around and pollinate the world with ideas and information so that they can make educated decisions for themselves. So that's kind of
You
how I
know,
see it.
the part of that too, that being able to go out, and it's, we are not into this program because we expect to make a lot of money. It's not about making money for us. Um, being financially comfortable or financially set where you can go out and help people is important. But my goal is to be able to pass this information on, that someone who is willing to educate themselves and learn how to get involved can give themselves a stronger financial future. They can give their children that education they want to give them. I've worked with a couple single moms, and it's just, I remember being in that place because I came from that place of being a single mom. They had a great dad. He wasn't a deadbeat dad. He always took care of his share, but I was always feeling like I wanted to be able to do more and provide more for my kids. This would have been an amazing thing 30 years ago. But today I'm able to give that gift to anyone else. And, I don't go out and look for people to try to, make them join the group. It's more of, here's the information. We'd love to have you. Here's where you can learn all about this. Whether you live in South America or you live in the Middle East, it does not matter. We're all the same, and we're all able to educate and learn how to use this and be able to help other people.
Beautiful, beautiful. And as a recap of what's been going on tonight, by the way, Ellen's been trying to get on, so I don't know if we've had.
Oh,
So
hi, Ellen.
hopefully she might come on for a minute or two here at the end if she's able to see the link for that. So we want to thank Ellen J. Hira. She does executive management consulting. She's a sponsor and a co-host of this as well. What's a website, Donna, for your group as well? How do people help what you guys are doing?
We don't have a website. We're word of mouth. We work through our friends through Bees.Social. We do have a website or an email with opesaddiction@gmail.com. And we do have a node on the OPES.chain.
OPES. Addiction?
OPESaddiction@gmail.com. If they would like
Perfect.
to get a hold of us and give us some ideas, help us come up with ways that we can make it very successful.
Well, I'm in the process of working on something like that right now. So because of my love for nonprofits, not just me, I'm one of many who, we've been seeing what we've been doing with the bees and the NFTs, and we're thinking so we are lining things up so that we can help other nonprofits. So we're doing there's Ellen. We're starting with the Keep Smiling movement as our example. So you always use your own as the guinea pig. So so we're going to weed out anything there and then come circle around, Donna. So we'll come a knocking.
Awesome.
Ellen, do you have any crypto news for us? How are you doing?
Oh man, I'm fighting snow and 20 degrees below zero. It's awful.
Oh goodness. Yeah, and I hear aliens in the background. So so we were just kind of closing up here, Ellen. So I wanted to make sure there was nothing that you wanted to add to it tonight about anything that you've been reading or knowing.
Oh my goodness. Yes, there's a lot. We don't have a lot of time, but I wanted to apologize to everyone. I got here late. I'm so sorry. But next week, I promise we'll have tons to talk about.
Yeah, it's been good. So just as a recap then tonight, you go and join us for Operation 1A, which is us going and hanging out on Twitter open spaces and learning all the dialogue and information and joining in if you'd like to. If you do it on your laptop, you can only listen. If you want to have something to say and talk and engage, you'll have to do it through a phone system. By the way, if you have a Mac, there is a way to hack your Mac. Oh, that sounds funny. Hack your Mac so that you can get in and get into that space as well. And we want to remind people to check out NFTconnect.one. NFTconnect.one. That is a NFT connection conference that's happening where you can learn more about crypto and NFTs and multiple levels from multiple people, lots of great networking. Come and have fun and play with us. It's February 22nd and 23rd. If you're interested in how you can play along, if you're interested in being a sponsor, if you're a media partner and you'd like to know how you can come and film or do whatever, reach out to us. You can reach out to me at www www.theredcarpetconnection.com, and I'll get you in touch with the right people who can grant you permission and let you know about everything that's going on there. And of course, you already heard it here. The VIP is Snoop Dogg. Wait, how do you pronounce? What is it? Not psychedelic. Snoopadelic. DJ Snoopadelic. Snoopadelic.
It's a DJ by Snoop Dogg. DJ. Yes. Okay. Let's see. DJ set performed by Snoop Dogg. DJ Snoopadelic.
DJ Snoopadelic. So very exciting. And then there's going to, if you have a product that you want to put some products or goodies or coupons or NFTs in a swag bag, join us there too. If you want to see it online, reach out to us and let us know. And if you know other things that maybe we should be inviting to this conference, or if you would like to be a media partner, just you as an individual, and you would like to share the link and let people know about the conference, we would ask you to do that for us, because the more people who share information, the more people are allowed to make educated decisions for themselves. And we're all about that. Crypto literacy, whatever that information is and the decisions that you make, we want you to make them on your own. And we just want you to make sure that they're with people who are trustworthy and smart. And we'd like to pride ourselves in doing our best to pull those really good people out. Oh, we should tell them about really good people. Okay, so we had someone this last week who someone had infiltrated they were hacked, and they had their bees stolen. Several bees stolen. And this is the power of community. So we were able to talk and to provide support. People were volunteering, like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I'll give you one of my bees. I can give you ETH to help you buy a bee. I mean, where else in the world, does that happen? And you have like a whole bunch of people pulling out their wallets trying to help you recover your stuff. And then we had other people who were playing detective. So that was super fun. And because of all of the community resourcing and pulling together, they were able to make a recovery of the stolen property. And that's an amazing, I mean, not all of it, but some, and that's great when you can, literally track things down, knock on the door and go, hello. And they're like, oh, here you go.
That's how we roll around
you
here.
You get a little bee recovery there.
Yeah, I think it's important.
What did you think of all that, Donna, to watch that live?
Oh, it was amazing. But I think the most important thing for people is, a lot of people say, oh, I can't get into that. I'm so afraid of it. What if I get hacked or someone steals from me? And I just want to encourage people to get connected with a group of people they trust, people they can ask before they click. If I look at something and I'm not sure if it's the right site, I mean, there's a lot of scams out there, not just in crypto, just in the world in general. So with our group, I'm able to I can pick up the phone and call someone. I can go on a call. I can find out if the thing I'm looking at is real, or is it just somebody trying to get something from me? Because you don't really get hacked when you have your MetaMask wallet. But if you click OK for something that you're letting someone do some transaction with you, you're not quite sure what you're doing. Or if you go to the wrong place and you give them your seed phrase, you're giving access to that. It would be like giving you my debit card and my PIN number to go to the ATM.
Don't give them that. My gosh, do not give them that.
Never. Yes. So it's really important with a group that we have each other to help figure things out before we get in that position.
Yes. I also discovered today that employers, they are being scammed and hacked with fake employees, people who are impersonating employees who want jobs. So you have to be super careful now. Everybody is wary. You cannot trust a soul. So don't turn your back. Don't walk around here unarmed.
Well, I come at the world a different adage. I mean, while I want to be smart and I do have a background in law enforcement, I choose to trust, but trust smartly.
Very
So
smart.
yes, and for the most part, everything works. I mean, I have to admit, I had my wallet stolen, in December. No, that was in November, and boy, did that create some craziness because they stole my wallet and my driver's license and all the information I needed to get on a cruise right before I got on a cruise. So, boy, that made it a bit of a challenge, but I got through it, and that's how it is I had people to call and friends and resources to help me figure out how to manage all of this. And this is what we're saying: when you come together as a community, you could definitely change how the traje- the forwardness. I
Trajectory.
can't get the word.
Yeah.
Thank you. That word, trajectory. Change it. So certainly exciting. And then you have friends to help you fill in the word when you don't know how to pronounce them. There you go.
That's what
Which
we're
is
here
funny. I
for.
use that word all the time, and then today I can't talk it. Oh, well, it happens. So there you go. So I'll just buzz a little instead and let you guys fill in the word. So with that, anything else we need to say? If not, we'll see you next week on Monday at 6 p.m. Stay on. Pull up your Opus ID on your Android or smartphone, iPhone, and pull some great information here with clicking on your QR codes so that you can create your own OS on your phone, mine cryptocurrency yourself. So with that, we'll see you next week.
Thanks, Andrea.
Good
Bye.
one.
Bye,
Bye-bye.
Ellen.
Bye, Donna.